All right, welcome to Desert Mountain. This is our Desert Sky project. This house is about 5,500 square feet of livable space, including our guest house. And this is a full gut remodel with a significant structural rework. Come with me and I'll show you through. As we come in the front door, we're standing in the foyer. We have a powder bath on my left, and then we immediately walk down into the great room, which has absolutely stunning views. In this particular project, right in front of me, this wall used to come all the way out and have a niche here, which blocked a lot of the views from the kitchen. So we were able to remove this, even though we had a structural post here, by opening the ceiling, putting temporary shoring up, and then running a large glulam beam back well into the hallway to support the weight of the roof and this soffit, which allowed us to remove this entire post and all of this framing. What we'll end up with is a beautiful bar top that L shapes through here to our stairs, which will allow people to be working in the kitchen, prepping, but also hanging out here. And it'll draw your views from the kitchen through the great room to basically our beautiful Sonoran Desert. So we're really excited about how this is going to finish off, because this was really a segregated space. And in fact, this is one of the few times where we had an extremely tall ceiling in a small kitchen. And so what we did here with the designer's help is we framed this down to make this feel more cozy, and we're actually closing in all the extra lift, and then we'll insulate that. This is gonna make this kitchen feel a lot more comfortable within the space that everyone's working in. And even while we're up here, we've created a second pass-through or a second entrance exit from the kitchen, which didn't exist before, which allows us to come into the hallway, back to the foyer, down to the guest suite. So we're probably about 2 to 3 months out from having cabinets delivered. We're finishing up all of our rough construction now, and we'll end up buttoning this up and putting drywall up, and we'll be finishing it up before you know it. All right, so standing in the great room, the views are just stunning. We're facing south-southwest. This room is obviously completely stripped out. We're gonna rework our railing for downstairs here, and we've kind of built our pony wall to go up into the owner's lounge and owner's suite. We've completely demoed this masonry fireplace. This is one of the things that happens inside of large-scale remodeling. We didn't have original plans for this house, and when we took the skin off of this fireplace, we wanted to reuse part of that, but also slide a new insert in. We quickly found out that based on how this was constructed, it wasn't going to allow us to use the fireplace the way we wanted. We had a post here that needed to come out. And so this is one of those times where you stop, we contact the architect, work with the interior design team and an engineer to basically create a huge steel lintel, retrofit this into place, which allows us to pull this post out to then have a complete custom fireplace insert built and spec'd, and then we'll have that delivered and installed so that this works the way that the designers intended for the clients. And then as you look at our slider doors here, these are all Fleetwood sliders and windows. We're working with them again since they built the original home, except for this time what we're gonna do is all of these fixed windows right here will be removed, and this will be turned into a multi-slide. So they will slide open to each side, which will draw out everyone from this room onto our patio, and we will have this full corner exposed because of the cantilever framing. So we're pretty excited to see this when it's all done and all the doors and windows are being delivered today. So maybe we'll see those before we leave. Okay, I'm standing at the entrance of our owner's suite. And before we get to the suite, which is on my left-hand side, you've noticed we've got 2 steps coming up and some new framing here. This was a full wall. We have kind of reduced that down so that it opens up into the living space. And this is our owner's lounge. This is going to be an area for the owner to relax and be somewhat secluded, but still part of the main house. You'll notice a lot of new electrical wiring kind of whipped out and hanging. This is going to be all custom art lights for our homeowner's art collection. They'll be able to sit in here, look at our northern facing views, as well as just kind of generally relax and be slightly removed from the main living area. It's a little bit more cozy for our owners. As we leave the lounge and come into the primary suite, we get the first shot at some pretty stunning views. We're keeping the stone, kind of reworking the fireplace a bit. We've reworked lighting, we've reworked sprinklers. We have a lot of, again, art light and sconce lights in here. They will be putting in custom draperies and shades so that they can have privacy at night. And again, your eye will draw straight out to our beautiful patio that looks south by southwest to just stunning desert views. All right, so from the primary bedroom, we come into our primary bathroom, and this is interesting because it's actually 2 bathrooms. So on my left is his closet, full walk-in closet. It's gonna be outfitted with custom cabinetry. And then on my right is his section of the bathroom. So as we come into this bathroom, this will be a custom wardrobe dressing area for our client. He will have his vanity, toilet, and his shower with a large niche and a window up here, which is being delivered today. So this is the first half of the primary bath. And then as I come back into the larger section of the bath, I'm standing in her side of the bath. So on my right is her walk-in closet. I am now standing in her dressing area, which is fully lit by natural light, which I think is something a lot of women appreciate. And then as I circle back to this side, we're gonna have a long double vanity here with a lot of custom features. And then we did a massive walk-in shower where we have framed a 2/3 wall, which will get frameless glass to the top. And we will have a 0 entry shower, meaning there will be no shower curb. All of the controls are located well before we get into the shower. And the reason we do this is for usability and convenience. Having the valves this far away from where your shower head will be up here to my right and the wand here allows you to turn the water on and then adjust either the flow, which shower head it goes to, and or the temperature before you have to get in. So you don't have to walk in real far to turn the shower on. You don't have to get sprayed by cold water. We can turn it on, make all your adjustments. As that water gets to where you want it, then you just walk into the shower. Right here in this nook with our stained glass window is going to be a beautiful new tub. And then a water closet is going to be right here to my left. So this is one of the first times where we've used a lot of square footage for a primary bath and closets. And we've actually completely split them to be 2 separate spaces inside of the same space. So it's a pretty unique design. Everybody's excited about it, and it'll be great to see once we're done with it. Now we're gonna head downstairs. Come with me. So as we come down the stairs, at the bottom of the stairs, there used to be a doorway which led into a theater room right here. We have since closed this doorway up to make solid wall, and we framed in one little pass-through window niche. And as we come into our game room, you'll see that the game room, the fireplace, and then the old theater are now all one space instead of having a separate door into the theater. And before we started, this was a solid wall here. So we had 2 separate rooms. We've since opened that up. We've put in a glulam beam to carry the ceiling weight or the weight of the first floor. And we're gonna install multi-slide glass doors in here. And now I'm standing in the owner's new workout room. So still the glass will draw you through, keep the space open. However, we can segregate it so that they can work out in the quiet or not have the sound travel outside of this space, while still having the game room for fun use. When they entertain, they have people over. And this client just didn't need a theater, and so we've repurposed that into something that's important for them. Additionally, downstairs, we've got another bedroom and an ensuite or a guest suite bathroom. And in this closet and nook area is where the owner is actually going to create a workstation. So while it is technically a bedroom, we are going to end up making this a workstation for this owner. It's a nice secluded space for him to do what he needs to do while they're in Arizona enjoying the time here. Okay, so standing in the main hallway, just past the front door, kitchen is to my right. There is a large closet, pantry closet, storage closet, and our laundry room that leads into our garage. And this whole space has been reworked to make it more usable. But again, pretty straightforward, nothing overly fancy, just really making the space a better use for these clients. And then we come into the junior suite, slightly smaller bathroom, bedroom, but still very nice with some of the best views in the house, completely unobstructed southwest views. Man, if it were me, I'd probably stay on this side of the house versus the other. And then you can see outside where we've actually removed the in-ground spa that had issues before we even started the project. And what the owner and the design team elected to do is to buy an appliance style spa. So we've cut out the entire existing spa. We've temporarily slid in the appliance spa, and we will pull that, reconfigure, refinish the area so it's beautiful, and it'll be nice to drop that piece in, and then it can be replaced in the future should they ever decide to do that. You'll see in here we've reworked the lighting for the new layout. And then as we come into the junior suite bathroom, we have a nice walk-in closet here, water closet to my right, And then this is the main bathroom, which will again have dual vanities. It'll have a tub. And then we have our snail shower here. Again, water flow, mixing valve, and diverter valve all well outside the shower so that we can utilize the controls of the shower without getting wet, without having to walk all the way into the shower and then all the way back out. So we briefly mentioned this kind of custom spa while we were inside. And now that we're outside and take a little closer look, I kind of want to take a minute and explain what we've done here because it's a little unusual, but it's a pretty stellar design by the interior design team and really the owner's own kind of thought process around it. And so traditionally, these built-in spas have basically one seat with a straight up and down vertical wall, and they're not terribly comfortable. They have the hot water and it swirls, but they don't necessarily have the therapeutic massage jets and whatnot. And while we could have reworked this spa and made it a new built-in, which would have been nice, we could have never gotten it to the place to where an appliance level spa has for seating comfort, controls, therapeutic, adjustable massage heads or water jets in the spa. And so what we did was we chipped out the entire inside of the existing spa and we've dropped in this appliance unit. It's hooked up, it's ready to go. We have some final leveling to do. And then what's gonna end up happening is all around it will be insulated. And then the entire curb is gonna be reworked to a custom curb. And where I'm standing here, we're gonna build a beam that is removable as well as a top surface, which will also pull out but look seamless and flawless while it's installed. It'll all be tiled. And that allows us to get access to the control panel and the service panel with the pumps and whatnot for this in the future. But while this is all in, it's gonna be completely seamless. It'll be very clean and it'll be really, it's a commissioned piece of artwork. It's the first time we've ever done anything like this, but so far it's coming together really well. And we're excited to see this when it's finished because it is going to look like a highly custom built-in spa, even though it's something we completely retrofitted. Thanks for walking the property with me. I'm looking forward to showing you how it ends up a little bit later this summer as we finish this one out. Stay tuned for more. Please hit that like button and follow button if you want to see more of this kind of content.